conversation. As always, guys, you know what we talk about here at BNV is discipline, how you can use that discipline to craft the future and the life that you want to see, how you can use that to ensure that you are building on your legacy, you're building on your family, and you're working towards your goal and not working towards someone else's legacy, but living your purpose and understanding how to do it. And today we're going to talk about how to ensure success, right? And so there are a few things that you need to do in order to ensure success. Some of you may already be familiar with them, but it does take a couple of things to be considered in order for us to get there. And one of those things we're going to have to consider is simply the question of how do we define success, right? And so when you look at success for just yourself, do you believe or do you have a definition of what success is? And I want to just kind of talk about that. We're going to spend some time going over it, kind of seeing what people's answers are. All right, I see some of you guys are voting on the poll currently. I do appreciate that. But as you do so, go ahead, like I said, if you want to take a moment, drop in the chat where you're checking in from, what time of day it is, and then we're going to go through this, right? Now, being able to ensure success requires a couple of things. Everything that we do in life requires for us to have an understanding of the thing that we're doing. To everything, there is a science. And to success, there is a science, right? And so when we talk about being successful, we want to talk about being able to establish, have we achieved the objective that we've set forward for ourselves? Now, there are short-term successes or short-term goals that you can set for yourself. There are long-term successes or long-term goals that you can set for yourself. But in order for us to be able to make any improvement or any movement in that space, we need to. It is imperative that we take the time and make sure we are working on achieving that success, that we're investing in ourselves, we're doing the hard work, we're taking the approach of understanding that we're defining for ourselves what this should look like. Because somebody else may view something that you do as a failure, or they may view it as being unsuccessful, or they may view it as like there's a lot of different ways that people can view it. Here's the key, however, how do you view it? How are you looking at it? What do you understand about it? What does it actually mean to be successful in regard? Big thing. That's going to be a really big thing that I think a lot of us are going to have to go over. So now I'm going to take a moment to kind of walk through some things that are going to help us have a better understanding and make sure we're all on the same page, right? So again, thanks for being here, guys. If you want to take an opportunity, go ahead and drop down in the chat where you're checking in from, what time of day it is, where you are, and we're going to continue with this, how to ensure success. Now, success, per my definition, is the completion of the endeavors necessary to achieve a specific goal, right? Now, Ava, thanks for stopping in. Good day, good to see you. And so as we're going to talk about this, it's important for us to make sure we're holding this definition. It's the completion of the endeavors necessary to achieve a certain goal. All right, so Ava checking in from the Midwest, I believe. Maybe that's what's that little, I guess they call that the panhandle of Florida, falls in that time zone. Indiana, some places like that. Tennessee, I think, has some areas in that time zone. Thank you for being here. And so now, what are we going to talk about? So when we're talking about success, and excuse me for just a moment. So when we're talking about success and we're talking about, hey, I want to make sure that I'm achieving success. How do we get there? Well, the way that we get there is we first have to develop a plan, right? There is no success, right, without a plan, even if something works out for your benefit, right? If something works out for your benefit. For example, winning the lottery, right, is not success. If there is no plan on winning the lottery, because the success is the plan necessary to get to the end of the endeavor, right? And so a lot of people determine success as whether or not you win or lose, or whether or not you achieve the certain goal. The reason we have to change that, the reason that has to change is because if we only look at success as winning, if we only look at success as winning, then we will constantly have to be in the middle of a conflict or constantly have to be in the middle of playing a game. We constantly have to be in the middle of competition if we believe that success only comes from winning, right? This reduces our ability to be able to be successful. This reduces the confidence, the feat. It reduces our ability to be able to manage it mentally and all of the things that we want to work on. So what is this? What is it? What am I trying to say here? Well, success isn't a semantics game. Success is an investment game. It's a travel game, right? And so in order for us to be successful, there must first be a plan. Once we implement that plan and then we apply discipline and we start to work on that plan, we are now moving towards success. Here's why I say that. Because the ultimate goal is not to be successful. The ultimate goal is to master. When we change from being or looking to be successful in any particular endeavor, like I want to be successful in losing weight. Well, take a day off of eating. Congratulations, you won, right? It's that simple. Like the endeavor of reaching or winning that goal, right? I want to save money, right? Well, consider buying something and then don't. You save that money. A lot of people repurpose it, but for all intents and purposes, you are now successful at saving money. So what does it mean to ensure success? Well, there are those small things that I just mentioned, but one of the big things that are going to ensure success is making sure you have a plan towards mastery. Because if you have a plan towards mastery along the journey, you will see things within the journey that will be successful. Those things will quantify. Those things will build on one another and they will be successful. However, to ensure success, work towards mastery. It is a guarantee that if you are working towards mastery in the process of achieving any endeavor, of working towards any goal, it's a guarantee. If you're working towards mastery, you will be successful on your way to being there. It's impossible not to be. If you're working towards being a business owner, right? So you're working towards being a business owner. Along that journey of becoming a business owner, you're guaranteed, if you have a plan and you follow that plan with discipline, it is a guarantee that you will achieve along that path, you will achieve on that way success. And I'm giving this to you guys, I'm sharing this with you because it's important to understand that this mindset, the motivation that I'm sharing is so that you no longer doubt your ability to be able to achieve the things you put your mind to. So many of us are defeated by doubt. And it's not even doubt that comes from the outside, it's doubt that comes from inside. It's that inability to believe that we have what it takes to achieve what we want to see. It's that inability to be able to imagine this future that people say is unimaginable, and then we refuse to extend ourselves far enough to get it. When we defeat ourselves in the process, failure is ensured. The entire process of being successful is the journey, right? So in order for someone to say that they lived a successful life, you don't want to wait until you're dead for someone to say he lived a good life. The moments, the definition, The empowerment of living a good life. The act of living a good life is living the life. The act of being successful or achieving success is being successful on the journey. You can ensure success by creating the plan, applying discipline, and working towards mastery. It is so simple. But here's the thing, guys. I need you to believe that you have the ability to do it. I need you to stop thinking that there are things outside of you that have the ability to stop you. Because as soon as you look outside of yourself and you say it's the weather, you say you don't know my upbringing, you say it's my background, it's my parents, it's my race, it's the government, it's other people, it's the man. As soon as you look outside of yourself and you say that it is someone else who is responsible for preventing you from being successful, you have accepted failure because you can't change the people outside of you. You must focus on, you must turn your sights internally. You must turn them in on yourself. And we have to stop blaming others. We have to stop. Listen, there are people that I see on a regular basis who get up and either they share on this platform or either they go out and they grind. Even people who go out and stand on a corner to wash windows or to ask for money, in order for there to be success in even that endeavor, it requires for you to have a plan and then to commit to it and do it. I keep trying to share, and I will share this with you guys right now. There is only one way to approach something if you believe it's possible or you don't believe it's possible. The only way to achieve it is the exact same way, guys. And you know what that is? Do your best at it. Create the plan and follow it to a T. I worked for a company. Now, I've worked for a few different companies. I worked as a food service manager in the past. I've worked in retail as management also. When I was working in retail and management, I was working for this company. And during this time, this was back in COVID. COVID hit, boom, we want to take an approach to restrict the amount of people who are capable of coming in, right? They want to make sure that we talk to people. We have fewer people here to help. We have fewer people who are allowed in the store. We have to keep a head count. Now, we want to check everybody in, make sure everybody is working with someone, want to make sure everyone gets the help they need because we don't have people walking around the floor looking to help them anymore. Not a problem. I can personally assess that this is not going to work for the particular store we're in because the traffic is too high. I express this to leadership. I express this to coworkers. I express this to team members, but I'm a leader. So it's my responsibility. So they at some point they say every leader must take an opportunity to be on the door and perform this task. This is what you must do. No. So I apologize for that, guys. I keep getting like glitches on the service. I apologize for it. But yes, I am, I guess that's Nikhil. Yes, I'm in the US. And so now I'm working for this company and the approach has to be the same every time. Everybody who comes to this door, you must stop. You must talk to them. They either need to be assigned to work with someone or they need to be told they have to come back when they're ready to make a purchase so that we can put them in a queue and they can wait for someone to speak to them. Everyone must be stopped. Now, I said this isn't tangible because there's also the possibility for everyone to shop on their own. Not a problem. So I didn't want to do it. So I took the approach, I'm not going to do it. Like, no, man, I'm like, listen, look, if y'all want to talk to me, you can. If you don't, you can go in. Leadership, all the way up to the market, says every store must do this. And every leader must have an opportunity to be on the door to do it. And now I say to myself, it's my job to do this. Well, I only know how to do my job one way, to master it. We work towards mastery. There are specific requirements required in order for me to get this job done. So I work towards mastery. I follow the steps exactly the way they said they needed to be followed. All the things they said needed to be said, all the things the way they said they needed to be done. The very next, and I'm telling you, Every other leader they put on the door, people would walk in, people would come back, people were frustrated, people would have questions, people would be like, well, I didn't know, nobody told me. All of those things would happen. I said, listen, we have guidelines. I'm going to go by these rules and guidelines. And so we put up a little black stanchion, it narrowed off, and they put my big shoulders at the end of it. And everyone who came in, I stopped. Just a moment. I'll be with you in a moment. We need to go through these series of questions. Thank you very much. We need to go through these series of questions. We need to talk about what you're trying to do. Do you need help? Do you not need help? Here's what's going to happen if you don't. Here's how you shop alone. And then I gave out all of these instructions. And as I'm doing this, I went person to person. Do I need to be with somebody to buy batteries? You do not need to be with someone to buy batteries. However, if you do need to get anything else other than batteries, it will require for you to shop with someone. We have limited people. So I go through this process. The line goes out the door. The line starts to go up the front of the building. All of a sudden, there's a second leader. There's a third leader. There's more support. And eventually, store leader came to me and said, hey, boom, we're shutting this down, took down the stanchions. Next time that there was a meeting with a market leadership, we stopped it. We didn't do it ever again in that store. The only way to do something, whether you believe in it or you don't believe in it, is with 100% commitment, is with the understanding that what you do will be successful. Either you will succeed and be the best person at doing it, or you will succeed and learn a lesson that allows for you to move forward in a fashion that fits what you're trying to do. Those are the only options. And the only way to do it is to have a plan and commit to it. Guys, if you haven't made a plan, you don't have a path to be successful. You can do things, you can gain things, you can achieve things, and you might even say, hey man, I'm living a good life. Cool, that's good. But if we're talking about being successful, if you work towards mastery, if you want to stop complaining and worrying about what the tax cycle is going to be next year, you want to stop worrying about bills, you want to stop reading the price tags on things, you want to stop worrying about inflation, you want to move those problems behind you, wherever you are, whoever you're working on, stop worrying about working on the business and start worrying about working on yourself. Because the only reason that changed in the space that I was in is because I changed. I had to work on me. I had to understand that I only know one way to do something, and that's at the best of my ability. I need to look at what the requirements are, and I need to meet the requirements. I need to hit the requirements. If this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. Don't introduce something. And the reason it went away is because the company understood we have set this precedent of what we want to see. It does not fit our model. It didn't go away because I changed something or because I was world changing. That's not why it went away. It went away because the company said, let's try this. And the people who were doing it were not doing it correctly. The company could not get good feedback. The company could not figure out whether or not it was working. The company had a head count. They said, we have a head count. You guys had 11,000 people come in your store, but you only set up 150 personal shopping sessions. How is that possible? You guys need to do the work. Okay, we got 11,000 people coming in the store. I'm going to set up 11,000 personal shopping sessions. And if we don't, I'm going to check them off. And so now what starts to happen is they start to see we can't get people in the store. It's not because I'm a genius. It's not because I'm the only person who could see it. It's not because I had something that other people didn't have, but I did have this. I had commitment to doing the work that needed to be done the way it needed to be done. You want to ensure success? Stop waiting for someone else to show you the way to do what you want to do. You need to work on you. You need to work on yourself. You need to understand that the discipline and the work necessary to grow your skill set is within you and it's in front of you. Let's stop waiting for people to come around and keep pushing us to the success that we want to see. Work towards mastery. As you work towards mastery, your skills will build on top of themselves. Does anybody remember trying to learn how to multiply, right? Do we remember trying to learn how to add? Do you understand there was a point when you did not know what letters were? And now we can type and we can read. That's because as a child, you wanted to grow. Hey, baby birds, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. So in order for you to be able to truly start to see development and truly start to see growth, you have to work on you. You have to understand that success is about the work that you do. Everybody take a moment, say hi to my wife. She's Baby Birds. It's always great to have my wife in there. CJ, thank you for being here. And so what I'm trying to share with you guys is this. If you want to guarantee success, if you want to ensure that you're going to succeed, stop looking at the end and look at the journey to get there. And then understand that the end is mastery. So really, when you talk about, thank you very much, CJ. When you talk about what's going on in your life, if we talk about wanting to lose weight, we're really not talking about wanting to lose weight. What we're really talking about is living a healthier lifestyle, right? So let's work on that. I want to master a healthy lifestyle. You can choose which healthy lifestyle you want. You could choose the old standard of 3 squares a day and the little plate with the triangles on it and put them in there. Work towards that, but do it as your best. And here's why you have to do it at your best. If you don't do it at the best of your capability, you're ensuring failure. Because when it starts out, when you start, you're like, man, breakfast is 350 calories. That's a yogurt and a snack bar, right? Oh my goodness, I need more protein. I can't even do the yogurt. I got to do 2 egg whites and a snack bar and a glass of juice. When you start to do these things, as you continue to do them, they compound on top of each other. And discipline teaches you, hey, this is how you're eating because you're developing a healthier lifestyle. But now it's going to compound. You're not just going to drop weight. You're going to be able to go up and down stairs easier. You're going to be able to be active longer without being out of breath. You're going to be able to spend more time with your friends and family. You're going to be able to enjoy activities that you had never considered in the past. Your joints are going to feel better. Sleeping is going to be better. Going to the bathroom is going to be better. There are so many things, and this starts with, I want to lose weight, but it's not about losing weight. It's about living a healthier lifestyle. When you look to master living a healthier lifestyle, part of that is going to say, hey, let's add some exercise to your life. Let's add the elements and the things that we need to ensure that we're moving towards what we want to see. We're moving towards that place in the future. We're moving towards building ourselves, being successful in the process. So, all of this is about something very, very simple, guys. It really is about something simple. And the simple thing that it's about, guys, is discipline and dedication. The ability to understand that at some point you need to get up. You need to get up and you need to get on it. Stop questioning yourself. Stop looking at other people's success. Me and my brother have a saying, and we share this quite often. Stop counting other people's money. Stop worrying about how much somebody else made doing the thing you said you want to do if you ain't doing it. Stop worrying about it. Stop counting other people's money. You got something in your house that you need your oil changed? Okay. You can change it, or you can pay somebody else to change it. Stop getting mad and going out there and talking about, man, they don't need to make all that money. He charged me $150 for an oil change. Well, you could have got it done for less, but you needed to do it. And this is what I'm talking about, is we spend so much time counting other people's money, counting other people's success, counting other people's hard work. And you think just because you just now saw them that they just now started working. That's not how it is. There are literally millions of people right now out here on this platform who are putting in work and are getting 1 view, 2 views, 3 likes. I'm talking about on a consistent basis. You have people who are out here who are working hard to get things done. There are people on your job. There are people that you don't even know outside of where you work who are working hard to get to where they want to be. And so when they drop into your job and they show up and all of a sudden there's a manager and you're like, I've been here for 13 years. You have been there for 13 years. But were you working on being that? Were you working on being successful? Don't count their success. Don't be mad at their success if you haven't done the work on yourself to achieve it. Because here's the big part. Here's the super upside. If you're actually investing your time and seeing yourself do better and seeing yourself grow, you don't have to worry about somebody coming in and taking your job because your company's going to see it. You don't have to tell somebody how much you're doing it because it's going to show. Part of that process is understanding what it is your company is looking for. Do you even know what they're looking for somebody to fill the job that you want to have? There are a lot of us out there who work jobs. I'm not telling you that you have to leave your job to go do something else in order for you to see the success you want. Because it's not about the job. I'm not one of these people who say money doesn't matter. You don't need money to be happy. Dude, there's bills. If you got a job, you got to get there. That's a bill. You got to pay that note. You got to figure that thing out. So I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to blow a bunch of smoke in your face and try to act like you don't need money in order to achieve that. I'm also not going to sit here and act like having money doesn't have its benefits. Like if you enjoy, it doesn't matter what you enjoy doing. The more money you have, the easier it is to do that thing. The easier it is to find the time to be able to do that thing. It doesn't matter what it is that you want to do. You want to go out on a date and you have a 3-year-old at home, the more money you got, the easier it is to get a babysitter and be able to go out on that date versus trying to call your cousin or call your grandma or call your sister. You have ways to be able to do it. And this is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter in what area you are looking to be successful. You need to develop a plan. You need to commit to it with discipline and work towards mastery. That is how you guarantee and ensure success. Pick anything, and that's the work that you have to do in order to get it done. I'm happy to be able to be here to share with you guys these things, to be able to share these visions with you, to be able to share these thoughts with you. One of the biggest things that's going to always be important, guys, is understanding that the work that you are doing on yourself goes towards your life. We have to get up and be committed to getting the work done. You have to see the vision. You need to learn to develop the vision, and then develop the plan, and then to work on the discipline. The biggest thing for most people is discipline. It is discipline. If you have had challenges with discipline, you're not the only one. If you've had challenges with self-motivating, you are not the only one. You have to have self-awareness and you have to have self-accountability in order to be able to do it. I'm not saying that you're going to be perfect, and that's not what mastery means, but work towards mastery. And I guarantee you, I ensure that you will see success along the way. You must develop a plan. You must commit to that plan with discipline, and you must work towards mastery. As always, guys, man, I love it when you guys are here. Please, if you haven't had the opportunity, please drop in the chat where you're checking in from, what time it is, where you are. Let me know what's going on. Are you at the beginning of the day, the middle of the day, or the end of your day? I love for you guys to share your thoughts. I love if you have any questions to ask. I would love to be able to make sure I'm speaking directly to any of your needs. It doesn't matter if your need is a financial need. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship need, a family need. It doesn't matter what it is. In order for us to be able to achieve, in order for us to be able to grow, we have to know that that's what it is we're trying to do. We have to be aware that that's even the steps that we're trying to take, right? And then we have to know where it is we're trying to grow to. I'm always excited about the opportunity to speak to people. Give me a moment, guys. I'm always excited about the opportunity to be able to share with what little information I have, right? Let me try to pull this up. I had some notes here on some things I wanted to share. Again, guys, if you're just now dropping in, you're just now getting here, please check in. Let me know what time it is, where you are. Let me know, if anything, what are you guys working on? Let me know if you have any focuses or any questions that I could answer for you. And thank you again for being here. Guys, the ability to grow and be successful the ability to find wealth and rich within our lives stays within our grasp. You want to change your life? You can change your life today. The place you need to be to change your life today is right here, right now. You want to make changes to your life and you want to stop living in debt. You want to stop living in regret. You want to stop living in blame. You want to stop living in pain. You want to stop living poor. You want to stop living paycheck to paycheck. This is the place to be, because the investment that you need to make to ensure that you are no longer living in this place is an investment into yourself. It's an investment that you can make that only takes you a few moments, and it takes commitment. You want to know whether or not you should invest in the stock market? Of course you should. You should have invested yesterday. You should invest today, and you should invest tomorrow. There are opportunities for money to be made. There are opportunities. Should you invest in real estate? Yes, you should. Should you live in the real estate you invest in? Only if you have to. Should you invest in crypto? Should you any legitimate investments that are available? Stop looking for the thing that you have to get on the cutting edge of in order to be a part of it. Understand that all of the ways in which it's possible for a person to be successful, it's available to you. Take advantage of it. Stop being afraid of what others may do, or stop being afraid of what may go wrong, and start to be excited about what will go right. Start to be motivated and encouraged by the things that will go right. Every opportunity I get to be able to share that there is something out there for you, and all you need to do is get up and go out there and get it, I take advantage of that opportunity. Stop believing that the reason that you have not achieved your goal is that someone else is keeping you from it. Because as long as you believe that is the case, it will continue to be true. The only thing stopping you is you. Once you become aware and you become capable, then you must become productive. You must take it on. You must accept that it is your job in order to do it. I tell people all the time, and I'm gonna share it with you guys right now. I'm gonna let you know that this is important. Everybody's looking for that thing, that catch, that how do I get it? How do I make it happen? What's this big come up? Everybody's looking for a genie. You need to stop looking for a genie and start looking for your genesis. Because your genesis is where your path starts. It's where you begin. I'm not talking about go to Genesis in the Bible. I'm talking about your genesis. Look for where you began. Look where you started at, and look at where you are. Because we all think that we're starting today. Yeah, there are things that you can start today. There are things that you can do today, but this isn't your genesis. If you're here and you're hearing my voice, this is not your genesis. You are already on your journey. You need to identify your genesis so you know where you started, so you can identify your plan. You can lay out your plan to do your journey and arrive at your destination. You must find your genesis. Stop trying to start from the middle. Stop trying to start from where someone else started from. Stop trying to start from somebody else. You don't know, you might already be past those people. Stop setting yourself back. Stop looking for a genie and start looking for your genesis, because from your genesis is where you took birth. It's from where you are launched. You have been on this journey. If you don't find your genesis, then you can't recall the lessons that you've already learned to help you to get you to where you are. You don't have failures. You have experience. And that experience is the building blocks for what you're going to do in the future. If you understand your genesis, if you understand that moment when you took over your journey, it stopped being your parents. It stopped being your friends. It stopped being who you were following. It stopped being the music. It stopped being the culture. If you can figure out the point when you took over your journey, that's your genesis. And then look at the things that you've done during that time. How many of them did you think about to do? How many of them did you consider before you did? And how many of them were just things that you did because you wanted it to be different? That's your genesis. That moment when you asked yourself, why? That moment when you said, man, I know it can be different. I want it to be different. That's your genesis. That's your point. That's the point in which you started your journey. You need to go back and find it. And then you need to see what happened, because you know what happened on my genesis? On my genesis, I had a nervous breakdown as a 19-year-old. And I remember asking myself the question, what do I do next? It was no longer the culture. It was no longer my parents. It was no longer my friends. I had to figure out what to do next, and I was lost. I had no answers. All I knew was work hard, keep working hard. And if it's not working, if you're not seeing what you want to see, that means you need to work harder. But no one told me I needed to work hard on me. I thought I needed to work hard at a job. I thought I needed to work hard at that thing that I was doing. And that wasn't where the hard work was. The hard work was on me. The hard work was on me becoming stronger, me learning, me understanding my own purpose and my own value. The hard work was on me finding my voice and understanding how to speak, understanding who I was, how to stand alone, how to be able to live with myself. If you can't live with yourself, don't expect others to walk in and want to live with you. You must understand and love and believe in you. You got to be able to live with you. That's what self-awareness and self-accountability is. If you look at you and there's something that you're doing and you're like, man, I wouldn't accept this from someone else. I wouldn't accept this type of behavior towards me from someone else. Then why are you treating yourself that way? You want to ensure success? Stop looking for a genie, start looking for your genesis, and then hold yourself accountable. I told you, I've said it many times, I'm going to say it again. The way that you're going to make sure you're going to ensure success, you're going to make a plan, you're going to commit to it with discipline, and you're going to work towards mastery. When you do that, you will see success along the way. Do you want to see financial success? All right, you need to make a plan to do something with your money, because you can't save yourself rich. You can't work yourself rich. Listen, it doesn't matter how much money you make. You're not going to work yourself rich. Because what? Because humans have a tendency to increase their lifestyle to meet or exceed their income. And since that is the situation, you are not going to work yourself rich. If you make $80,000 a year, your lifestyle is going to ask for you to live at $80,000 a year, understanding already that you're only bringing